Hi, my name's Chris and I'm a franchisee in Melbourne and Victoria in the Keysborough area for Dog Wash. 16 odd years in retail in multi-site roles across Victoria and Tasmania. First and foremost, my wife and I love animals, so dogs was something that we wanted to work with and change for lifestyle and flexibility. Yeah, the training facilities here at Mooroolbark are outstanding. Spending time with each individual and getting to hear their stories was quite inspiring. Also, the pieces around the business knowledge that you need to make sure you're really successful was quite critical. And the biggest part also is that family atmosphere which you feel from day one when you walk into facility. There's a lot of stuff you need to be aware from a bookkeeping side of things and admin and making sure that it's quite clear. And again, Jim comes and speaks to you and talks about the importance of making sure that we land the system that's in place and the benefits from it. So for me, it was very well structured to make sure that you're quite successful from day one. So we're at the 8-month mark at the moment. We've currently got 3 trailers, so we've gone from 1, which was just my wife and I, up to 3. So we've got a couple of team members on the road and growing rapidly. And what I can say, it's one of the best things that we've ever done. Work is plentiful. There's so much out there if you're willing to do the work, and the ability to grow is, it's up to you. I think it's lifestyle is number one, so you can control. We've got a couple of young children, when you're on, when you're off, and that flexibility is quite good. And the income is quite good as well. Again, if you're willing to work hard and do the work, you can build up quite a good reputation, and we can talk from experience in 8 months to be able to grow, to have a couple of people working with us now. We wouldn't have thought of that on day one. The sky's the limit for us. I think building a foundation in the first couple of years is going to be really important to be sustainable. But our aim is to grow quite large within the division and ensure that we're able to capture as much work as we physically can. So no set specific amount of trailers, but as big as we can do to make sure that we continue to grow for the future. Exceeded expectations by far. I think initially when we brought in, my wife was just starting to do majority of the grooming, and once we saw the workflow coming through and the ability and what you can do within your franchise, it's definitely exceeded expectations. So we do everything from full grooms for all breeds to dog walking, sitting where required, just your basic washes as well. So there's quite plentiful amount of services that we can do. We can even do home visits and do feed offering for your animal as well. So not just washing in itself. The benefit is you don't have to leave home to start with, so you can take that travel time out of your day and make sure it's more convenient for you. For the animal itself, it can be quite stressful to be in a salon for a number of hours with a number of dogs. So with a mobile service, it's they're one-on-one with us, getting their service completed and straight back home into their environment, so they're a lot calmer. And we do find some animals that have had some salon experiences that aren't really comfortable with grooming, but actually really come into a positive light after using mobile services, because they're not in that environment where, with multiple dogs and so forth, that can stress them out. Yeah, so it's a full salon in the trailer. So you've got air conditioned and heating as well. So in winter we can heat the trailer and air condition to make sure that it's quite comfortable. Same with the water. So we've got heated water and make sure that the hydro bath is perfect for your animal. We've got a full blow dry system in there to ensure that they come out, as they should, nice and dry and ready to go, like we would when we go to a hair salon. So the facilities are quite state of the art. Yeah, I think the biggest thing, we can talk from experience, so we had one particular border collie that was quite challenging and hadn't been able to be groomed by multiple groomers. What my wife ended up doing, Jess, was working with this animal over a number of weeks, and we actually didn't groom it to start with. We took it for walks and built its confidence and built its trust. And we're now in a process where I think it's been a client of ours now for about 5 months, and we can do a full groom on the dog without any issues, and the owners are blown away because no one was able to do that. So to your point, Joel, building that connection with the animal is really critical, and making sure that you build that trust. So when you have a regular groomer and a regular cycle, it only helps to build their confidence, and then they get used to the process as well. Yeah, we do animal behaviour training, and we also have pet first aid as well, so we're fully certified if anything were to happen. And I think understanding the behaviour of the animal is really important, and that's where that training comes into through gyms, so that we can make those decisions as we need to. And I think that's the biggest learning that I can give to owners out there is if your dog is a little bit shy or a bit nervous, that's okay, let us know, and then we can work out to make sure that we've got the best process for them on the day. Grooming is definitely right up there. Would probably be 80% grooms over washes, and it's due to the type of breeds that are coming through. So there's a lot of curly oodle type breeds that need that trimming and whatnot. So I would say at least 80% grooming. Yeah, look, it was a great experience. I think initially it was a little bit daunting coming from a completely different industry, but you get to work with a master groomer for a number of weeks and build your skills. There's a lot of information that you get provided as well, and materials through gyms from a training manuals and so forth that help you to continue to build your skills as you grow. And there's seminars as well that happen, there is meetings that we have, so that we're always building upon those skills. So now, 8 months in, there isn't a dog that Jess couldn't do. So, you know, it doesn't matter what breed, what type of style you're looking for, she can master it, and her skills are through the roof. So I think if you're thinking about joining and you're not sure because you haven't done it before, the training will definitely get you there. So we've got 3 dogs. So we've got a Kelpie Cross, we've got a King Charles Cavalier, and we've got a little Dachshund who rules the house. So
that little one rules the house.
Yeah, he definitely does. Yeah, definitely. I think for any curly, oodle, type breeds, brushing is going to be your best friend. So, you know, there is a lot of times where we see them where they're not well kept from because the owner's not sure on how to brush and whatnot. So first and foremost, regular brushing is going to be important. And being on a cycle with your groomer. So it's normally our cycles are either 4, 6 or 8 weeks, depending on how often and the type of activities your dogs do as well. So if you've got a dog that you like to take to the beach that rolls around in the sand and so forth, it can get a lot more matted if it's not kept quite regular service as well. Yeah, so with rescue dogs, it's really important when we have that initial conversation with a client when they come through either the call centre or directly to us, is asking some really great questions about the type of experience the animal's had. What we find with rescue dogs is it can be little things from even noises, you know, whether it's the dryer that we use or even just the noise of the scissors or the clippers can be quite distressing for them. So first and foremost, it's having a great conversation with the client to understand how that dog is behaving, and then making sure that we build a system and a plan for that dog. So the key here is you might not necessarily groom that dog first time round, and you have to go through a process of getting to understand what they're capable with. So there's been some dogs where we've towel dried first, and then we've moved on to the dryer at a later stage. So it might be on the 2nd or 3rd appointment. And then also there's been some dogs where they're quite funny with nails and getting nails clipped and whatnot, and making sure that we build their confidence, and we might only do a paw here or a paw there, and then as we build through that process, we generally find that we can get them all done. Still an animal lover, and I think that the way I would describe it is some of the bigger breeds that I wouldn't have thought are as timid are probably more timid than some of the smaller breeds that are a bit more boisterous and definitely let you know how they're feeling. So, you know, we've had big Rottweilers that, you know, 40, 50 kilo Rottweilers that are quite timid, that will just sit still, and I guess that was quite eye-opening for us. But yeah, love the animals, and that's the best part about being in dog wash for us is every day you're working with a different personality, and when you're working with those animals, they make you feel like, you know, it's the best thing that you could do all day. They love it. So they love the flexibility of when we can get there, not having to leave home. And again, building that regular contact with them, you start becoming a bit more part of the family. So there's a lot of different conversations, you get to know their children, and you get to know different things that they're having, and the overall experience from gyms from the first time they call the call centre to when we call is really positive, because we make sure that we get in contact with them really, really quickly. Yeah, so if you're looking for a quote for dog wash, call 131546. We'll get a hold of your closest franchisee that can give you a call and make sure that we can book in a service for you.